Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is a very special edition of the Ninja Selling Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Thompson, and I am here right now with a lot of my friends. Okay, so we're making history because we are recording this podcast in front of a live audience. So this live audience, they're here with me now. They're sending you their positive ninja vibes are coming your way. And so the fact that all of them are here live is special. They're here live because they're here for a ninja installation. So we are recording this in January of 2026. This is our first installation of the year here in Fort Collins, Colorado. All of them are here. And also here with me are two very special people. They will be our special guests for this episode. And I'm really excited, really looking forward to introducing everyone to our two special guests. Guest number one, it is the one and only Dave Hettrick. Dave, why don't you say hello to everyone on the podcast?
Hey guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Yeah, Dave Hettrick. I'm with Remax Professionals in Denver, Colorado.
Amazing. Dave is a ninja extraordinaire. We're going to hear his story, hear about his results, hear about his 2025. You're going to get a ton of takeaways from Dave and what he does in his business. And with us is Dave's coach, Julie Will. Julie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Julie is here as the coach in the room for this installation, and this worked out great. She's here for the installation. She is here with her client, Dave. You also have another client here. And okay, so let's get to it. We are interviewing Dave because he's amazing and because Dave had his best year yet in 2025. We are measuring and tracking and researching all of our Ninja Coaching clients who had their best year yet. We're approaching now 80 of them who had their best year yet in 2025. Everyone needs to know that Dave's business in 2025, Dave, we're celebrating this, was up 62% year over year compared to 2024 in a market, Metro Denver, that was not up 62% year over year. The market, based on my research, Dave, was essentially flat. It was down 0.2%. So there you are in a market, flat. You went up 62%. Another thing to celebrate, Dave, is that you broke through a barrier, an income barrier. You went just over 300,000.
Correct.
For the year. We're all giving you air high fives and fist bumps coming your way on that. That's a threshold. That's a level that a lot of people strive to get through. You did it. And then some, 62% year over year. So we are going to get into how you did that, mindset, skill set, actions, because we want everyone to have their best year yet. No, I know you want that for people, Dave, knowing you. We will share right up front. Here's the secret for Dave. It's flow. It is flow. We would even call it hyper flow. The guy is in hyper flow. You are in hyper flow. So it's hyper flow without ever having to ask for referrals. Is that true, David?
That's correct. Yeah.
I mean, you're not running around asking people for referrals and do you want to buy a house? Do you want to buy a house?
Correct.
You're not doing that.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into tactics. You're going to hear exactly how he does it. But here's how we want to start, Dave. You are known as Mr. Gratitude. I love that. That's kind of your nickname, Mr. Gratitude. Tell us about that. Where does that come from?
Yeah, it was a surprise to me. I was on a coaching call with Julie, and she goes, Dave, I just have to we talk in our coaching community, and we have a nickname for you. It's Mr. Gratitude. And I was cracking myself up when I heard that, but it all made sense when I thought about it more, because every call with Julie, like the first thing, it's almost like my morning routine with Julie. Like I tell her about my wins, and that's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing to get on the calls with and just lead with gratitude, just like every day, just flooding myself with gratitude. And it could be the simplest thing. And that just keeps me in that positive vibe for my clients. And, it's amazing. Like when you have that mindset, everyone you meet with, you see these opportunities like you wouldn't have normally seen. And I think just like Larry always says, there's mindset, skill set, and action. Mindset is by far the most important thing. And I've just embraced that. And that's really, I guess, the foundation of my success.
Absolutely. Based on me getting to know you, based on talking to Julie about your business, that is the foundation. It's always mindset, skill set, action in that order. You have a mindset of gratitude. You have a mindset of giving. And I think a great example of that is what you brought to the Ninja installation for all 96 of our attendees. You brought a special gift. And we see this often. We see really creative, really special gifts that people bring. Which you brought was pretty incredible. But tell us like a couple of things that you put in the gift bag for all 96 people who came here.
Yeah, this is my 5th installation. I've noticed throughout my different installations, a lot of people bring in a goodie bag. It's got their business cards, it's got some candy. There's been some awesome gifts. And I just thought, I really want to just give back. Like this is just, since meeting Larry and changed my life, like in 2021, I just want to give back to this community. And so I just thought, what are just some basic things and so I just put together like 4 note cards. My wife is now working full time with me, and she just helped pick out just some special cards to where I always had a hard time finding a happy home anniversary card. Like you can't just go to Walmart or Hallmark or wherever and buy those. Like you have to look for these things. I thought, let's just make it easy and get these 4 cards. Happy home anniversary, happy birthday, just some basic cards, and put those, because we were writing cards in here anyway during installation as well. And then I thought, why not combine that with a Ninja 9 card? I've got the same Ninja 9 card on my bathroom mirror that I look at every day. And I thought, that's so powerful. Why not give that to everyone? And then my story, I've been inspired by so many people in the Ninja Nation with their stories. And I just thought, wow, I had my best year ever. I just want to give back and tell everybody how it all started. And so hopefully that inspires people.
Absolutely. And so in Ninja, we talk a lot about adding value. We talk about adding value by being different and being relevant. So those cards that you brought, that's very different. I've never seen that before. It's very relevant because, as you said, people are here every morning writing their cards. And so you've given them not only happy birthday cards, but happy home anniversary cards, happy new home closing cards. Really clever, really special, very valuable. In your letter, in your story, your 1-page story that you wrote about Ninja, I'm just going to read one sentence. You talked about discovering Ninja. You even talked about how you initially brushed it off. You did not immediately embrace Ninja, but finally you read the book and you listened to the book, and you said, I'm quoting now, finally everything clicked. You realized this wasn't a strategy, it was a way of life. It was who I already was. Ninja selling finally gave me the language and structure I needed. Beautiful words. Okay, we're going to get into tactics in a minute. How does someone increase their business 62% year over year in a market that's flat? Julie, you and I were visiting about an hour ago, and I said, okay, what was it? You and I have already talked about this interview, but I wanted to ask you again. What did you notice in Dave? You've been working with Dave since March of 2025, so coming up on a year. What was it? And you told me what?
I noticed a big shift in him and his business when he
Trusted the process.
let go of what he thought he had to be doing and just trusted that the things that he was doing were going to pay off for him.
Got it. Just trust the process. I asked you then, was that a moment in time where Dave went from not trusting the process to trusting, or was it more of an evolution over a few months? And you said it was an evolution. It was an evolution. And by the way, that's something common that we see in coaching. Yes, there are those inflection points. People make clear decisions. There's a line in the sand. That happens. And very often we see an evolution. But really for you, Dave, it wasn't over years and years leading up to this. But Julie noticed it over a period of a few months, trusting the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Just leaning into that was huge.
Just leaning in. Yeah. Tell us more about what comes up for you with trusting the process.
Yeah, just the consistency and just doing the same things every week that generated business. And that's the Ninja 9. And just, it sounds so simple, but, and sometimes it's not easy, but just that consistency. And I guess for me was, like Larry always says, that the most powerful form of flow is live flow. And that's what I not only excel at, it's just what I really enjoy is connecting with people in person. And it's not even about real estate. It's just about them. How can I help them in any way possible? It could be finding them a contractor or just connecting them with another like-minded person. And these live conversations I've just structured into my weekly routine through a couple networking groups that I just have on my calendar, and then scheduling coffees and lunches. And my wife and I, we love to go out to dinner with our friends. So just being intentional about having these on my calendar. And it's not hard to hit 50 live when you've already got it on your calendar. That's been the whole key, is just having that. And we've got auto flow going out to our clients. It's almost like, in a way, I've got auto flow going for my 50 live, because I've already joined these groups, and I don't want to let any of these people down by not showing up. So I'm there every week connecting with people. My wife and I, we love to go out to dinner anyway. So like, why not be intentional?
So it's automatic.
Yeah.
You've turned your flow,
Yeah.
your live flow and that's evolved into being automatic.
Yeah.
Julie, I want to ask you, speaking of believing in the process, leaning into the process, we have our coaching clients turn in what's called a weekly meeting agenda. And that's turned into their coach in advance of the coaching call. It's a way to be tuned in with what's happening with our coaching clients. We can see activities, sparks great coaching conversations. What is it that you notice about Dave's weekly meeting agenda? So pretend we're sitting here in a coaching clinic and we have Dave's weekly meeting agenda up here on the screen. And you're saying, okay, guys, this is what I want you to see about Dave's weekly meeting agenda. This is someone who increased their business 62% year over year. What would jump out? What do you notice? What's there? What's not there? What do you notice on that weekly meeting agenda?
What I've noticed, right, in the beginning when he was doing them, there were some blanks, right? But there were never multiple blanks every single week. So if there is something that was missed or we didn't get scheduled the next week, it was there. So with his weekly meeting agendas, Dave's focus has always been incremental progress. Every single week, he looks at the previous week and he figures out where can he improve, and he absolutely improves every week.
Got it. What we know in coaching is, hey, if you miss it once, it's a mistake. It's okay. We're not going to give ourselves too big of a hard time over that. Miss it twice, that's the start of a new habit. So what you notice is he doesn't miss twice.
No.
Got it.
Doesn't miss twice.
Doesn't miss twice. Okay, so we will definitely get into more about live flow. I think it'd be helpful for people to understand. Dave, first, how many people are in your database?
426.
426. Now, a couple things on that answer that you need to realize. Dave had, and not just because he prepared for this podcast, he answered that the same way in preparation. Dave had a very clear, a specific answer. It wasn't, I don't know, let me think about it, I'm not sure, it's around, I'd have to go look it up. And this is something that we notice in coaching with people having their best years yet. They know that number because that is really the most valuable asset that any agent has is their database. So Dave, you have 426 people in your database, but also there's a subset of that database, of that number, which is what?
Yeah. So Christine, my wife, she's my marketing and operations director, and she helps me categorize people. And we've really just narrowed down that 426 to our top 100. And so these are the people in we call it our client base, because no one likes to be a database. So our client base, just really focusing in on those top 100. And they're the ones that get our extra marketing touches. And we try and spend more time and being intentional around that top 100. A lot of those are advocates that are looking to refer us. And that's been awesome. And just leaning into those relationships has been huge. And we talk about the 80-20 rule. And it really is that just that 20% of clients is generating that 80% of your results and your referrals, and just you really leaning into those relationships.
Walk us through the process that you had to identify those 100 and to decide that they should be part of that 100. And the reason why I'm asking is that we see this being a common challenge for people where they feel like they have a lot of people in their database, a lot of people who shouldn't be there in their database. They have a hard time narrowing it down, focusing it in. They don't even know where to start. So how did you do it?
Yeah, I think just looking at our results and our relationships, and we looked at specifically who has referred us business, or who have we done a transaction with, who has sent us multiple referrals, who have we gone out to dinner with, and they're just looking for ways to help us. And we just think of those people. One of one of our favorite events is our annual pie party at our house. And these are the people we invite to these intimate events at our own house. And so we just look for close family, close friends, clients, people that are advocates. And we intentionally have a separate category in our CRM to make sure that they get extra love and attention.
So you put a bigger investment into those people,
Yeah.
knowing that you will get a bigger return on investment
Right.
from those people because of who they are and because of the relationship that
Absolutely.
with that.
Absolutely.
Okay, you brought it up, and I think we should talk about it. The pie party, the Thanksgiving pie party. Lots of people do it. I think the way you did it is special. And yes, we're several months away until someone could do it again. But there are lessons learned here on how you did it, and could apply to any event, not just the pie event. So tell us how you do it.
Yeah. And then a lot of this is advice from Julie, because it's not just the event. It's really just before the event and after the event. And yeah, there's going to be some great moments during the pie party. It's really just those invitations going out. It's a chance for you to actually get on the phone and call. And I may send them an email, like we had an email go out to everyone, but then it was a text message and there was a phone call, and just all these it's just more flow. And so by the time they actually get to the pie party, which not everybody can make, it's catching up. And the problem we had this year, Eric, was we had so many people come that it was hard to talk to everyone. So my wife and we decided to break it up into 2 pie parties next year, because we have a condo, 1,400 square feet, to get 60 people in there at once.
You had a packed house. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing the fire marshal didn't show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but what you said is a big deal, a big takeaway. It's not just about the event. It's about what happens before the event, and it's what happens after the event.
Yeah.
Multiple opportunities for touches. You turned that event before the event into 3 touches. It was an email, a text, then a phone call.
Yeah.
A lot of people may only do one of those 3. You did all 3, and to the 100, right? We're talking about to those 100 people.
Right.
What about the people that didn't make it?
Yeah. Then that was another set of flow, was after the event, was calling people to just thank them for coming. And then also sending them a personal note saying how great it was to see them. And then, like you said, Eric, there's several people who weren't able to come. So I intentionally wanted to go see them at their house and just make sure that they still knew that, like, I want to see them around the holiday, even if they're busy. And so some of them, it wasn't until after Christmas or even New Year's, but I just got some fresh baked cookies and went around town. And sometimes it was 4 or 5 people that I would see per day. Sometimes it was more, sometimes it was less, but everyone that didn't come got those cookies. They also got a handwritten personal note delivered to the doorstep. And if they were there, that was great. I had multiple conversations on Ring cameras because they were at work, which is awkward but fun. And just, it was a great way to connect. And just the results that came from that was just, I think, out of 32 cookies that I passed out, I had got 7 referrals just from that. So it was mind boggling.
Okay, tell us the other ways that you create opportunities for your live flow. I love that you said this a few minutes ago. The ways that you have now automated your live flow. What are the opportunities? What are the places that you've joined? The places that you go to that allow you to have so many face-to-face conversations?
Yeah, one of the networking groups I'm in every week, I love, because it's all small business owners. And that's what I am. And so these are the people I vibe with. And it's a BNI group. And we meet every Tuesday at 7 a.m. And I just got elected president this year, so it's just more exposure. And we just look at ways to help each other. And so that's where a lot of my business has come from, is these people see me every week. And then the other networking group is twice a month. It's a South Metro Chamber of Commerce. And we've got probably 40, 50 people in that group. And same way, like the majority are all small business owners, just looking to help, just looking to connect people. And I love these groups. But it's not just going to the group. It's taking that relationship one step farther and getting to know people and going out to coffee, going out to lunch, and just developing these relationships. These guys are all on my flow. And some of these guys have made it into my top 100 because we've gone out to extra coffees or they've come to one of my other events. And so, yeah, it's been very fruitful to be part of two great networking groups that are full of like-minded entrepreneurs.
So you turn these quick interactions at the networking event into a coffee, into a lunch, longer conversation, nurture relationship. They can turn into one of the top 100. How many coffees, lunches are you doing per week?
Yeah, probably an average of 2 to 4 per week. Yeah. And then out of those 2 to 4, probably one of them's a dinner with another couple, or we're going out to brunch, or we're going out to dinner with our friends. And some of our friends that were clients are now our friends. So it's almost like there's not a separation now.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, everyone here live, are we starting to see a theme?
Yes.
A trend? What was it that fixes everything? Flow. Flow fixes everything. So flow fixes everything. Julie, how often does Dave have 50 live interviews in a week?
Every week.
Every week. Every week. It's not a problem. It's not a struggle. If he doesn't have 50, it's because he's out of town. Okay, I want you, Julie, to expand on something. And this is something that you told me you worked on. You both told me that you worked on when early in coaching. It wasn't just the amount of flow. It was how that flow was happening and what the conversation looked like, sounded like, felt like. Can you expand on that, Julie, on the kinds of things that you worked on with Dave when it came to live interactions?
Dave is fantastic with live interactions. I think that's pretty obvious. When we were first started working together, he had these groups that he was in. He was committed to going to them. He had the same energy around the groups then that he has now. What I saw sometimes is he would go to the meeting, but then he would be like, I have to rush out. He felt he had to rush out because there was this and there was this and there was this. And spending time there was going to take time away from doing these other things. Spending time there was not a waste of time. Spending a little extra time allowed him to develop and cultivate those relationships, which has bared plenty of fruit, right? So taking that little bit of a pause and understanding that what he was doing and where his talent lives, it's okay to spend extra time there. And the thing that he was going to do that is time, his wife is now on board and she can help him get those things done.
Got it. So that's not maybe nagging at you anymore, Dave. I got to get back to my desk so I can get that paperwork done, or get back to that thing about the transaction. You've solved that with your wife's help. She used a lot of that time. Yeah. So you can be more present, more intentional in those conversations. That's leading to the fruitful results that Julie mentioned. Speaking of that, Dave, how many people on your hot warm list?
So I've got 130 between the hot and the warm.
130 between the hot and the warm. Now, will you break that apart for us? Like how many in the hot, how many in the warm?
So just right around 50 for the hot and then 80 for the warm.
Okay. So several takeaways here. Number one, that is significant, and it's all being generated from that live flow. So you told me you're adding on the order of 5 people a week to your warm list.
Yeah, I would say just on average, some weeks more, some weeks less.
Yeah, on average, 5 people a week to the warm list. How does someone do that? Have a whole bunch of live flow. The other big takeaway there is that we coach to have, in the rule of thumb, the target, the goal is 20% of your database on the warm list. Dave has roughly, almost exactly 20% of your database on your warm list. So you have that. Now, just to help people out, to remind them, are they only on the warm list because they mentioned to you that they may be doing something in the future? Is that the sole reason why someone would go on the warm list?
Some of them, they just have these life changes. And so it's just being very intentional as I'm asking 4 questions. And they may not know that they're probably going to need to move, but I can see because of the life changes they're sharing with me, they've had their kids leave the house, or they just had another kid and they've got a super small house, or they've talked about doing something and they're just waiting on something with their job or something like that. And so as soon as I find that out, they're going on the warm list. Yeah, for sure.
So that's a big deal. A lot of people, when they hear the 20% goal rule of thumb, they think, how on earth could I ever do that? I don't have 20% of my database telling me that they may do something in the future. That's not it. Now, that's part of it. But what's really it is looking for those life changes. So changes in Ford, people have change in Ford, they're going onto the warm list. And you and Julie work together as to what happens next. Yeah. Related to this, Dave, is I'll do as a question, what's your goal for number of transactions in 2026?
Yeah, so super excited about this. So going to go super big on this, and I know we can do it. And I've got Julie's full support on that. So I'm excited. We're going to do 95 transactions in 2026.
Yeah, 95 transactions. So here's the deal. This is what we do as coaches. When we're first getting to know someone and we ask them, so what's your goal for this year? A great follow-up question, especially when we hear something big like that may cause someone to say, dang, I don't know about that. Follow-up is, tell me about your hot warm list. So the follow-up to Dave, tell me about your hot warm list. Over 130 people gives us high confidence in 95 transactions because it's right there. You don't have to find more people. You just have to work with those people that are already on the list. Now, you will find more people, because you're
for sure.
in life flow. But, and Julie's nodding her head, we have
set a goal,
confidence.
to find at least 16 new people to his warm list every single month.
16 a month is the goal to add to the warm list.
Yeah.
Yep. And you have a clear strategy on how to do that. You've created a couple anchors for that goal, some visual and even kinesthetic anchors. Tell us about those anchors that you have.
Yeah, it's something Larry's talked about for a while, but the Japanese Daruma doll, went and got one of those from Amazon, and it's been really cool to just have that on my desk. You've got the one eye colored in, and it's every time I go to my desk, it's staring at me, and I've got a sticker on my phone with the one eye. So it's a visual anchor to ensure that I'm on the right path every day, and I don't miss. These goals are important to my wife and I for the future we want to have together. And we have a lot of stuff on our life list that we want to do. And so leaning into a visual anchor like that, I think it's huge. So I'm excited. As soon as I set that up, I think you guys were one of the first people that I emailed was Larry, yourself, and Julie. So that was pretty cool to me, just for accountability.
Yeah, it gave me a big smile when I got that email. So Dave, you've been working with Julie since March of 2025. Tell us what was happening for you, like in the moment when you decided, you know what, I'm gonna hire a coach. I'm gonna have a ninja coach.
Yeah, it's just something that's been on my radar for a while. I always looked at it as a expense before, and I just thought, man, I don't know, like that's significant. And I just shifted my mindset to what's it cost to what's it worth. And when I really ran the numbers, I just thought, wow, that's one transaction in Denver for me. I know Julie and I working together, it's going to be like multiple transactions more. So again, it's almost like the equivalent of talking about staging, like with your client, like it's an investment in your equity. Like this coaching is an investment in myself and our future self and the future for my wife and I, and I'm excited about it.
How is it different or similar to what you thought going into it?
Yeah, just Julie's been awesome. I think the thing that surprised me is like her flexibility. Like it's been amazing. We just started working and it was just a couple calls a month, and I felt like I really needed something every week to just maintain the momentum, and she adjusted our coaching schedule. So we're just, instead of doing an hour, we're just doing a half an hour every week almost. That's been huge. And just I think what stands out to me is just like her belief in me. Like when I told her my goal, she didn't even blink. She's like, of course, you got this. And when I tell her like what I'm doing to increase my average price point, she's right there with me and right along my side, and just not only a great listener, but just someone that challenges me. And just having that person that looks from the outside to see your blind spots, that's where it's been super valuable, because sometimes you're so close to your business, like you don't realize like what you're really doing. And she sees it from my weekly agenda. So she knows.
Yep. She knows. You can't hide.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Julie, one more question for you. And this relates back to trusting the process and leaning in. You told me that Dave has become really good at letting go of things that maybe aren't as important, not as valuable. Tell us more about that.
Dave likes to make sure that everyone and everything is taken care of. right? If he has a listing, he wants to be there. He's there with you beginning to end. And that's wonderful. But he doesn't actually have to physically do everything beginning to end to be there. Now that Christine is on board and she is helping him with some things, it's taken some time. She can meet the photographer. She can meet the stager. She can arrange for the signs, and she can create those brochures and things. He walked her through it the first few times, but now I don't even think you're having to ask sometimes. He will tell her that he just got this lead and he needs to do this. Should I go ahead and put together the consultation package? So they're really starting to work as a wonderful, cohesive team, and just letting those little things go now that she's on board and she's taking ownership of that has freed up a lot of his time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was hard to let go initially. And
Yeah, just doing it on my own and not having anyone else. And I'm very detail oriented and just, I like what I like. And so that's been a freeing experience. And it's just a constant reminder for me is just, it may take me longer to explain, but having someone like my wife is more than capable to take things over. She's done that. And that's been phenomenal for me to just free up my time. It's gotten to the point where she just does my just listed, just sold postcards or my property brochures. Like I don't even really need to proofread them anymore. Like she's just got it dialed. And she'll still sometimes ask me, I'm like, I trust you. That's good. Let's roll with it. And so she keeps on, anytime I meet a new client, it's just basically sending her an email with their information. She's already got it up into the CRM. And we're off and rolling, and just anything that doesn't need a real estate license, she's taking off my plate, allowing me to help more people.
Two more questions for you. One related to you and your wife. Tell us about the President's Club idea.
Yeah, so very interesting story. My wife does have a background in real estate marketing, which has been fantastic, but she did take a break away from real estate to work at some Fortune 500 companies and tech companies. And one of the last ones she worked at, she put together these huge events, 2,000-3,000 people all across the country on these events. And a lot of them were for the salespeople for these international companies. And their salespeople, when they would reach a goal, she would basically be in charge of getting them registered and getting them organized into what's called their President's Club. So they would take these guys to Hawaii or where these far destinations to just celebrate their sales success. And so when she had left and she came on board and we started working together, I thought, why not make our own President's Club? And so this has been really cool. Like we love to travel. That's like our thing. And one of our favorite travel destinations is Europe. We decided to, as a way to celebrate our business success and having the wonderful year that we have, is why not book a trip? So we're actually going here soon to Portugal and Spain. So excited
for your President's Club.
So that'll be our President's Club.
So
great. We got our own President's Club.
Yeah.
So,
Incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. Okay, Dave, one more. And this has been amazing. So many takeaways, just fantastic. We're so happy for you. Anything you would share to the Ninja Nation? This is your chance. You're speaking to the whole Ninja Nation right now, not just these fine people in the room, but the whole Ninja Nation. Is there anything you would share with them? Advice, input, encouragement?
Yeah, consistency brings power, and just find ways to leverage your consistency and TSW, right? System works, and you just have to work system. It's very simple, but sometimes it's a challenge to be consistent. But once you can dial in your consistency, the sky's the limit. And I pinch myself every day when I wake up. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I am in full control of my future, my wife's future, our family, and just to know that it's up to me to make it happen. And now that develop some consistency, it just gives you more and more confidence when you see your results. And you know that no matter what happens, you just trust, like Julie said, trust the process and the results will come.
Amazing. Dave, thank you. Just incredible. Julie, thank you. I think it'd be okay if in the recording of this podcast, we heard a round of applause in the background with that bit. So. Incredible. Dave is incredible.
Appreciate it.
So much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You gave her your spirit, your gratitude spirit, your giving spirit just shines through. Everyone, it's Dave Hettrick RE/MAX professionals in Denver, you know what to do. Reach out, thank him, send him a handwritten note. That would be the ninja thing to do. And gosh, we so appreciate you being a part of this. Thanks to everyone here live. Thanks to everyone who is listening to the podcast. Thanks for your commitment and your engagement to the podcast. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Take care.
If you enjoyed this episode, visit us at theninjasellingpodcast.com to learn more about ninja selling classes and coaching to get you started or further your journey on the ninja path.
Thank you for joining us. Now go have an incredible day.